Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
Hello and welcome to the KVJ After the Show Podcast. Is Jaybird taking care of Chewy?
I think he is. I think poor Chewy is having some issues.
Yeah.
He had a faucet butt.
Yes.
When you go number 2 and you're like, oh wow, that's all liquid.
Yeah, he's got like little doggy flu going on there.
I think so.
Yeah. I know one of the dilemmas going on with Jaybird is what he's going to do for the holidays because his dad was supposed to be back from Texas and he's not yet, and his sister wants him to go to Oregon, and so he can't leave Chewy alone, he thinks, and he's like, what do? Do I take Chewy with me to Oregon?
That seems like a pretty intense trip for a dog that's got faucet butt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how, long, hopefully, he can clear up whatever that situation is before he goes. But, on top of it, Chewy, because he needs those insulin shots. And I know there's places you can take him. I've done that before where
there's doggy daycares, but I don't know if they'll take a dog that needs insulin shots every day. And that seems very intense.
Yeah. Does the vet, do they do... But the only problem for that, too, is that you hate, some of those, doggy daycares, the dogs get to run around and socialize, but Chewy's an older dog. He may not want that kind of socialization.
I don't know. I feel like when you got a dog like Chewy, you might want to get Oregon to come to you.
Yeah, that just might be a tough situation because, what do you do?
That dog is definitely not up for traveling.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, so I don't know. We were talking about your dog, Bird.
Yeah, he's not doing so good right now.
Aww.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just sick. So I had to run and I had to give him some different medicine. So sorry I'm late.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Talking about your upcoming possible trip to Oregon, too, and what you're going to do.
How can you go on a trip if Chewy's sick?
Well, if my dad was here, we would be good. I'm working on all that right now. I don't know. I was thinking about traveling with Chewy, but then I thought that might be a terrible idea.
I would not recommend.
I just don't trust anybody giving him his shots. I'm very paranoid about that. And he's got medicine. I'm working on it. We'll see what happens. I really need to go to Oregon, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The only thing I could think is two options. The vet would be good with the... taking care of the medical part of it, but if they do stuff like that, I'm sure they're just in a crate the entire day, and that would not be good.
No way.
They don't do boarding at the vet, do they?
I'm not boarding him. I don't even know what that is. I don't like the way it even sounds. I don't want.
It's where you take your dog, and your doggy stays there for a couple of weeks, but I don't think the vet does that.
No, I honestly think that would freak him out. I would not want to do that. I'm not throwing shade at anybody who decides to do that, but for me, I would have.
He's in a fragile state.
Yeah, I would hate. I'd hate that.
And then there are kind of like places like doggy boarding that you can go. They're actually really good with them. I think there's one called VIP, Very Important Pets. And, the dogs are treated. They have a nice place they stay, and somebody's playing with them all day and getting them out and, moving them.
Sure. And if they've grown up and they're used to that, then that's awesome. But I don't know if that's literally, he's an old dog. Do you throw him into a doggy daycare?
Well, they might, depending, if you talk to them, they might be able to accommodate, special circumstances. That might be the thing I would ask is say, okay, he needs shots. He's older. I want to keep him away from younger dogs that'll get up in his face and freak him out.
Yeah, I just, and it's probably more for me. The idea of him not knowing what's going on, all of a sudden he's thrown in this different world, kind of, I don't like it. It weirds me out.
But you're talking a cross-country flight, and I think, how does that work with dogs if because his size, you'd probably need to be put in a crate, and then do they put them down in cargo hold, or where do they go?
I don't know. That's a great question.
What's the temperature like?
That's a tough trip for a dog.
I would not do that to Chewy.
Yeah,
I think that's a little too intense.
It is. It was just an idea. I was thinking about doing it. Then the more I thought about it, I'm like, nah.
Yeah, you may not be able to find the ideal situation. Maybe your doggy daycare is your best bet. But, I don't know that any situation you're going to find is going to be ideal. Other than just having your dad back from Texas, that'd be the quick, easy solution. Chewie goes nowhere, and he's
or
got
I
somebody to take
cancel
care
my
of him.
trip to Oregon. One of the two.
Yeah, unless I don't know if they do it. Can you get a doggy sitter? Do they do that kind of stuff? But that's a weird dynamic where somebody's coming to your house.
How do I know they're giving him his shots? And how do I know that they're being all cool with my dog? I don't know. This is at a dog level. I could not imagine having a kid and then you have to give your kid off to people you don't know. I would be such a fucked up parent.
Oh, yeah. These are all the kind of things they have when you got to deal with when you got kids.
I don't know how you guys don't worry constantly.
I do.
But do you get used to that worrying?
You do.
Okay.
At first, it's really, really hard. And at first, you're like freaked out. But two, it's all about the people. And if your kid is somewhere where you trust the people and you know that they're loving and they're doing right, that's really, really important. And sometimes you have to go through some bad ones to get to some good ones.
Sure. I get it.
Yeah, that's kind of it. So anyway, I'll
give you an update tomorrow. I'll have it all figured out by tomorrow. So I'll have an answer for you.
I got an email here from Jordan. Said, Jaybird, why do you sound so down and out? You sound sad.
About what?
I don't know. I just said you got the holiday blues.
No, I've been sick.
The Walladay blues. You got a wall up.
No, I'm definitely not depressed or anything. I have been sick. Last week I had a pretty bad fever, and I'm kind of still coming out of it. I know we've all been sick. I'm not trying to take the sick limelight off of anybody.
No, your sick is more important.
No, that's why I haven't been trying to talk about it. But I also don't want, because I don't want to get fucking emails. Jaybird's got the holiday fucking blues. So I do have to recommend. I have to let people know that I am been sick. I'm not depressed.
Okay.
Very happy.
Do you want to talk about anything?
No. Jaybird's got the
holiday blues.
Oh my gosh. Fuck.
Nobody to kiss under the mistletoe.
No one at all. Just the blues.
No, I'm a little preoccupied about a couple of things, but nothing to be, sad about.
Okay. What else got you busy over there?
You.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just sniffing around.
Sniff away.
They say one of the big gifts for the holidays this year is going to be those 23andMe or Ancestry DNA kits.
Yes.
This Christmas is...
I told you I got one for my birthday. It was a fun gift.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only detraction for me, because they did this whole article about it I was reading today, the detraction for me is the accuracy of them. Some of them after we had that lengthy conversation about a month or so back, I was just like, from what I kept hearing, I'm like, I don't know. It's just like people who've done the test multiple times or different places, it tells them two different things. I'm like, okay, well then what's right? And then the things they talk about is whether people can handle some of the information that they get. Like you are of a higher risk of a late onset, uncurable, unpreventable disease like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's or something along those lines.
But if you know, isn't it better? I would say that's information to help you make choices in life where maybe you get long-term care insurance. It's an investment you can make. They
say that's part of the problem. Once you get some of these kits, like now regular health insurance isn't allowed to get your information, but apparently it doesn't apply to life insurance. Oh. So some of these people get these DNA kits and it says, hey, you're going to get Parkinson's one day, and then all of a sudden you can't get life insurance.
Oh.
Yeah.
So like the insurance company can get access to your
guess so.
Information?
From this article I was reading, it sounded like that might be the case. That'd be something to read into, yeah, just before you do it. I guess make sure that you're kind of
I just did all this recently and
locked into it.
I've got all that now, but I didn't have it before.
Yeah. So that's something to consider. They just said that, yeah, before taking the test, you should, consider a couple of different things, even the emotional consequence of finding out that they might be at, higher risk for these diseases. And like, okay, what am I going to do?
Fascinating.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And slightly depressing.
Yeah.
I know.
Well, now I found out I'm getting Alzheimer's, and now the insurance coverage, it won't apply to me. They won't. They dropped me.
I'd be better off I just didn't know anything. I kind of like sometimes ignorance is really so blissful.
It's just scary because like the Alzheimer's, dementia, I mean, that is a massive burden on the rest of the family.
Yeah. Well, it's finding out too. A lot of things are being uncovered. You're finding out that there are lies of paternity, and maybe somebody's supposed to be your parent, and you find out that they're not, and you come from a different line, and people are finding out they're adopted, or this or that, or
It's heavy.
yeah, or they were related to Billy the Kid, and they're not.
I found out it's been confirmed. Someone from Pennsylvania did the genealogy thing. I'm not related to Billy the Kid.
Aw.
It's a lie. It's the whole time it's been a lie. Never Billy the Kid. There's nothing that traces back to me and Billy the Kid. And that is
sorry.
something I have been.
How about William the Adult?
Definitely not.
Okay.
How about Billy the Marlin?
I don't think I'm related to him either.
How about Twinkie the Kid?
There we go.
Okay.
Yeah, for so long I've been living with the idea that I was the idea of being with as Billy the Kid.
You've touted it since I've known you.
I have touted it.
You've been proclaiming it.
I'm not related to Billy
You're
the
living
Kid.
a lie.
That's a lie that I have just found out. That's just a lie.
Yeah, just a lie. So, yeah, it's something to consider because, yeah, at first you're like going, these genetic tests seem like a great idea. But, yeah, I would definitely, I want to do a little bit more research because, yeah, if I all of a sudden find out for the health insurance company that I've got a debilitating disease coming down the pike that I'm going to want insurance for, and now I can't get it, what do? Your only solution at that point is to save up ridiculous amounts of money, correct? And that would change your entire life now to prepare for your life later. See what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I mean, for
That's a
me,
life changer. That's not a good life changer. Like you talk about, you want to know. Yeah, you may want to know.
I do want to know.
But
don't
you
wanna
don't
know.
want the insurance company to know because then you
No.
can't not get the money you're going to need later.
I don't want them to know, but I want to know because I want my family to be prepared.
Right. But if you can't help that, then you're like, okay, now you may
Well-
have just screwed your family because now you can't get insurance and now you're going to be a financial burden.
I need to start immediately saving money.
Well, and then that's going to change your life now.
It will.
Yep.
It should. If I found out tomorrow that I was going to have
But if you didn't find out,
Alzheimer's-
you could then get that insurance when you do get the Alzheimer's or whatever. Because you didn't have to find out with this stupid test.
The first thing I do if I find out that kind of news, I get the fattiest, just the biggest calorie meal and just dig in and just absorb.
fatty meals cause Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
It probably does.
That is going to actually kick it up a notch.
But at that point, I'm eating just to eat. At that point, it's already got me. Might as well celebrate.
I hear you. I worry about being a burden because I'm watching right now. I got a friend of mine. I'm very close to him. And his dad has had it for like 5 years. And it has drained every penny of all the money that his mom and dad
terrible.
planned to retire on. His dad shits himself 3 times a day.
Cool.
His dad is angry and screams at everyone and doesn't understand where he is.
Oh, jeez.
His dad walks into walls and constantly is all cut up and covered in injuries. People think that his mother abuses the dad. Like, it's a mess. It is stressful. Every hour of every day for my friend's mom is just a tough, tough life
that is rough.
with zero help. She can't afford to hire a nurse to come
Yeah.
over and help her.
That's
so she
rough.
has to do all of it.
So think about that, yeah.
So hey, Debbie Downer, do you want to can we talk about something else? This is really fucking
This
heavy.
shit's real.
Oh my
Virginia
god!
took it down a really dark road here.
What the shit?
He shits himself 3 times a day.
Yeah, well.
I know. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
It's very depressing, and I get that there's terrible things out there.
If I'm going to do that to my family, I kind of want to prepare them now.
Okay, we get it. You're being a burden on me right now. How about in the moment, bruh? We're in the moment, and you're a fucking burden. Where's my sympathy?
we want to get away from this.
Yes.
We can't. But he shits himself 3 times a day.
Oh my god.
So
Okay,
much
yes.
shit,
I
Kevin.
know, yes.
I mean,
We get it, Virginia.
happy fucking holidays. Goodness. Let's uplift the people going into the fucking holiday weekend.
You're doomed.
Good Lord.
It's awful.
Good Lord.
Shit, I'm depressed.
Yes. Yeah, but this is an interesting text somebody said about those tests. He said, they can buy this information, the insurance companies, and that's why these companies are selling your genetic data. That's how they make money off these DNA kits. You get them so cheap, they're like, $45 or whatever, because they don't care because then they'll sell your information to these insurance companies.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, look, if that's the racket, that's why before you go out and take one of these tests for Christmas, just a little bit of a warning, investigate just to see if that is a possibility, because you might completely screw yourself for when you shit yourself 3 times a day. You know,
I just want my family to afford a nurse.
Oh my gosh, we get the fucking point. You don't want to
she's going to do whatever she can to just rope it back in.
What the shit, man? I mean, seriously.
It's just depression.
I'm trying to do it for you because I don't want you to have to be involved.
Can we talk about cheating? Something a little bit more uplifting?
Let's talk about animal abuse.
Oh my God. Chewy's sick. I don't know if I'm going to Oregon. You don't want to be a burden.
I don't want to shit myself 3 times a day.
I don't want to shit myself. I mean,
No.
Chewy right now is shitting himself 3 times an hour.
Yes.
And it's liquid.
It is.
Oh.
Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's
Virginia wants. Yeah. Now
let's
Virginia
get
wants to
on
talk
the
about
pod-
dogs.
Yeah. Hey, Debbie Downer, can we get on the positive train?
I'm sorry.
She won't allow it.
And I'm the one being called out for having the fucking blues.
This is
know.
life.
I'm in a good mood over here.
I'm in a great mood.
Oh my gosh. Bartender, can I have a double?
Shit happens.
Wow. Jeez.
I just found out Billy the Kid and I'm not related. I'm down. Pick me up.
We all knew you weren't related to Billy the Kid.
That's-
You're the only one that didn't know.
That's not true. I think Kevin, did you? I think you.
No, I didn't believe it for a second.
Shit's getting real on this podcast.
Not 1 second. Yeah, like as soon as you told me, I think
Look
that's a
at
lie.
you. Nothing about
poor
you
boy's
says
been
cool,
lied to.
Oh, so now-
renegade.
So you're gonna depress me? Not gonna kick me when I'm down?
Talking about giving the wrong medication to the wrong person at the wrong time. Elia said, my sweet mom's in need of antibiotics and doesn't like going to the doctor, so I thought I had some leftover having a C-section in July, so I got the bottle from the medicine cabinet. Opened the bottle and kind of looked at the pills, didn't give it much thought, and then dropped them off so she could start them. She's very thankful and said she'd take them right away. I was in bed last night about 10:30, and I suddenly realized I'd given her my son's ADHD medication.
Oh.
I called her right away, and she was already in bed. She says, yes, I took one. No wonder I got super sleepy. I thought usually it like amps you up, right?
I don't know. It depends on what you take.
What did they take?
It was their son's ADHD medication.
That should probably amp you up a bit. You usually don't go to sleep on something like that. That's one of those.
Yeah, if it's like Adderall.
Yeah, that sometimes happens. I remember you talked about your ex. He was getting ready to take he accidentally popped an Ambien instead of whatever it was.
He took a handful of like vitamins and the morning pills, that you would take, and accidentally took an Ambien as we're leaving to go on a flight.
I mean, that's kind of cozy if you pass out on the flight.
Yeah.
He did not.
Okay, then you try to eat the plane.
We had to go through TSA. We had to go through the boarding process.
Oh, yeah.
We had to go through all of that with somebody who's a full-on Ambien.
I thought nothing was real. It probably wasn't to him.
That is really weird, man.
I took those fat burners that are supposed to really amp you up. That ephedrine, is that what it was called?
Yeah, that's one of them.
I took that, and I'm not kidding you. I ate the biggest bowl of Fruity Pebbles and took the longest nap.
It's supposed to curb your appetite and keep you awake.
It made me tired, and I ate a shit ton of Fruity Pebbles. So
All
you're
right.
right. Maybe it has an opposite effect sometimes.
Does not work.
Yeah, you never know how you're going to react to that kind of stuff. Yeah, just different stuff. Yeah, and it is kind of weird. Like I've been doing the cough medicine, so it's just I've kind of already been in like a weird space.
Oh,
anyway,
I
just,
hear you, man.
Even the stuff that I'm getting, the stuff doesn't like have alcohol in it, but it just still.
It makes you cloudy.
Yeah.
Fuzzy in your brain, and you try to shake it off, and you can't.
So I was not going to drink that much on Saturday because I hadn't been feeling well. And I was drinking 10% beers thinking I was drinking 5% beers. And holy shit.
Right.
Tracy St. George has got to think I'm insane. I must have asked her what she was drinking 3 different times. I think I told her the same story 5 different times. Oh, man.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you got to watch on those beers.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, you can't just order them because I had somebody, same thing, like I know my one beer and about how I feel on it, and they're like, oh, you ought to try this other one, this is whatever. I'm like, oh, let me look at it. Look at the bottle, it's 10.5. I'm like going, Oh my gosh! Like
Yes,
yeah,
it was 10 point. I think 10.5.
If
Yeah.
you drink beer like we drink beer, you drink beer and you have a pacing.
Right.
You can't have that same pacing with a 10.5. You just can't.
No.
Well, I didn't realize it was a 10.5 beer until after I had drank my second one, and I had done a shot in between. So, I mean, I was hammered quickly and quietly. I couldn't believe
Quickly and quietly.
I couldn't believe it happened.
I'm quietly hammered.
Oh my gosh! I showed up at Wish Boca, not know where the hell I was at.
I wish I knew where it was.
Oh my! I did.
Those Collins had to
Who
be
got
amazing.
you there?
Oh, I Ubered, but
Okay.
it was a journey.
You were all by yourself?
I was. I didn't. I do not like that
That
at all.
is to Boca?
It was, yeah.
That's a long ass Uber drive drunk by yourself.
Both times, I think I definitely weirded out my Uber drivers, without a doubt. At that point, I'm talking about life.
Too much too soon, guy.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh. There's a new thing that the New York Post did an article about called digital begging. It's the same concept, basically, as standing outside with a sign on a street corner, but you get to do it from the comfort of your own home. They featured this guy, Jovan Hill, who makes a living by begging his social media followers to pay his rent and buy his weed. And he makes about $4,000 a month.
That's so awful. It's so awful that people pay it. Is he at least giving you entertainment?
I don't know.
I imagine he is.
I don't know what it is.
Is it good?
You'd have to see.
Because if it's good,
I see what he's doing there.
Yeah.
But if you're just straight up asking for money for a weed and you're no.
Yeah, he recently needed $7,000, so he got online and said, "I'm very poor today. If you need a tax write-off, please donate to the Jovan charity." And it worked, and he got his money. He has over 200,000 followers on all his social media networks combined, and his followers call him their unemployed king. So,
Or he's got a shtick going, I guess. You may not like the shtick.
yeah, I guess he does. I assume there's something on there that they are entertained by.
if he's unemployed, he ain't my king.
No, like I said, it ain't my kind of
No.
fun.
I think it glamorizes laziness and a man not working. I'm not a big fan of that.
Yeah, it's unreal. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Man.
I don't know. I just don't know. That's just kind of it. I think every older generation has the fear of the new generation, and they probably share the same thing. And that's, but my concern for the youth today and my kids is lack of a work ethic.
That's different than just dumb comedy. You know what I mean? You always hear people go,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's so offensive," or "That's so not funny." That to me is like a different animal. That means you're going to have lazy motherfuckers walking around, and that's scary.
Right.
That's different.
And
For the first time in history,
Right.
we're rewarding laziness. It's never been this way.
well, it seems like that's an enviable trait. Like, I would love to be able to sit and lay as much as possible and make it through life somehow with being as, with putting out as little productivity as possible.
There's like sloth goals.
And-
there's a
Right.
girl on Instagram and her handle is girl with no job. And she's got thousands and thousands of followers. And I'm like, not impressed.
it's annoying.
It's annoying. Girl with no job. Okay, well, girl, go get a job.
To me, I
no
don't-
one's impressed.
To me, that's different than calling out music or movies. That's when you start to show your age a bit. I think calling people out for not working and wanting to be a sloth and glamorizing that's a newer concept.
It is.
And it's not a cool one either.
I don't care for
Well,
it.
it's gonna things
do
are gonna
we-
fall apart. Just look at if you don't do something, shit falls apart.
Do we not get it because we're old?
No,
Well, that to me is what I don't get. Like, I would hate to see a generation that would pride themselves on slothiness and saying, like, we are trying to be as lazy as possible. We don't want to clean things. We don't have to clean after ourselves. We don't want to do this and that. Because what does life start looking
well,
like?
then you're a fucking asshole, and then everyone picks up after you. Guarantee you'll hear from people who are 18 to 21 years old with an email saying, "Kevin, no, I don't think being a sloth is cool." How are you ever going to be great if you're a sloth?
Thank you.
I mean,
And maybe you even argue maybe it's just something, it's a tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where it's not really, because maybe even this guy who is like, look, I'm the unemployed king, he is doing work arguably by putting out entertaining content and things
Exactly.
like that to, get the followers and this and that, and that's just kind of the shtick that goes along with it.
I mean, if there's like a David Lee Sloth and that's their thing,
Yeah.
and they're putting
He
out,
does all Van Halen music.
yeah, and shtick. I see what you're saying about that guy. He's at least uploading
He's not running
stuff.
with the devil because it's too hard to run.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like, jump. No.
Yeah.
Not going to jump.
Not going to jump.
Running
not
with
going to run.
deviled eggs.
Yeah. Not going to run anywhere. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just life. That's life. Got an email here that is all about somebody having a little friend drama. I got a friend who I considered to be very close friends with for years, although we started becoming a little bit distant. I was at another friend's home and we were drinking, and her and what was her boyfriend at the time and now is her husband came over to hang out with us. They got into a fight while they were hanging out with us, and she told him to go and get out of there, and she continued to hang out with my friend and myself, and one of the neighbors then came over, and we watched her hook up with him in front of our very own eyes.
Oh, no. This is messy.
When we tried to stop her, we got cursed out.
What a disaster.
Yeah, she then went on to blame us for her actions when I confronted the situation. I don't even, I've never told her husband prior to marrying her, so now I'm left with this insane secret that I feel terrible about. And recently she posted a photo of her breastfeeding her baby, but it was full boob for all social media and everyone to see. So I made a comment to her through a private text about how her husband may feel about it. And she backlashed at me and told me that it's for breastfeeding awareness. Then went on to insult me for loving on my husband too much and outed herself for talking shit about me behind my back to others instead of coming to me first.
You know what? You guys probably shouldn't be friends anymore.
Yeah.
You know what? Some people are in your life for a reason. Some people are in your life for a season.
There you go, Virginia.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
this.
Sometimes you got to let them go and say, we've gone different paths.
Okay, Debbie Downer got some wisdom over there.
Yeah.
Rhyming.
And for the record, I think breastfeeding videos are great because if more people normalize it and make it okay, even with the whole entire titty out,
Yeah.
I think it's good, and I think we should encourage more women to do that.
Yeah, why not? I mean, what's it really? Why do you care?
I don't care.
Make it
But
normal so people stop freaking out when they see it.
Quit telling me not you, but people. I'm breastfeeding. I don't give a shit. Go for it.
Do it.
Yeah.
No one should give a shit if your titty is out because you're feeding a child.
I'm not gonna get offended by it. So don't act like I am.
I think people do a lot of that stuff just hoping that
They do.
that they want to trigger. I mean, that's what it is. It's people want to trigger other people.
That's
they want
true.
That's what
to
I
get
mean.
people
That's
upset.
absolutely
Yeah.
true. And especially with this case right here, with your girlfriend that you have drama with, by you feeding into that and getting mad at her for her boobie being out, you are giving her what she wants, which is drama. I think the two of you need to step away from each other because it's not healthy anymore.
That's it.
Life is short, mijo.
Yeah. It is kind of interesting when you talk about the seasons of Friends. Like, I was talking to my wife about that the other night because I ran into a guy. We were out. There was like a party, and I saw him, and I was just like, it's one of those people. It's like I knew I had known him, and I'm like,
From many moons ago.
right, yeah. I mean, we're coming up on our 20th year now, being in South Florida. So, and you have those seasons. I had a season where I was doing this. I had
Yep.
a season where this was my thing, and I was into
Totally.
that. So you're hanging with this clique.
Everybody does that.
Yeah. I had my softball season, and so I had a different
Exactly.
clique then. And so that was, just an era of my time here. And yeah, so I said, I'm like, it's so weird because I run into some of these people. I'm like going, and we may have even hung out. Like we'd hang out on the weekends. I'm like, who was that? Like, yeah,
I
my
know.
wife's having to explain how I knew him. And I'm like, okay, all right. I vaguely remember that. And you get caught up with their life and like, oh yeah, they're divorced now. And it was like, so all that kind of stuff. That's true. That's the way a lot of friendships go.
But it's okay.
It is.
It's natural
You're right.
and it's normal. And you don't have to hold on to people that you no longer are enjoying. If you have this much drama and the two of you are now like a powder keg, you don't have to be friends just because you have history.
Yeah. I think it'd be a fun bit if we could figure out how to get the people lined up. I think this is my life And we bring people in and be like, how do you, oh, where do I know him from?
I can't tell you the amount of times I'm in a conversation with somebody and I can't remember how I know them.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at names. I'm really bad at names, but me and you are nowhere near as bad as Kevin. Kevin's pretty terrible.
Oh, it's awful. No, and some of these people, like, I've stayed at their house and things like that, and I'm like, I have no idea.
It honestly took Kevin 4 years to say Mariana's name the right way. He called it Mariana.
Yeah.
That's not my name.
Well, that's funny. I think that a lot of times, too, what hurts us is we meet a lot of these people when we're having cocktails.
Probably,
Doesn't help.
It does not help me at all because a lot of these party people, when you haven't seen them out on the party circuit for 10 years and then you run into them in Target, you are like,
Wait. I know we
did something.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And you get these stories, and you're like, yeah, remember you were driving my boat shirtless? I'm like, oh.
Sorry.
Wait, what?
All right.
What's going on? Wait, what? I got this email here from Engineer Keith. Said, for the life of me, I can't figure out why I put a reminder on my phone to ask you guys about your spring break plans. But there it is. So what's your spring break plans for KVJ? Yeah,
Was he supposed to maybe come into town? And when did he visit here? We met him before.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Maybe he's going to be around. Yeah, I don't know. Probably I don't have any plans. I'm doing a cruise sometime like in February. I don't know if that's going to fall in spring break. I don't think it is. But
is it back on? Because remember, it was kind of like
it's kind of hovering. I mean, we're just trying to wait and see because the kid's out of school. He's missed a lot of days, and so trying to figure through all that. But,
gotcha.
Yeah, hopefully, I'd like to go on it. It'd be nice. But yeah,
I need to look at the school calendar because whenever Palm Beach County schools take their spring break, that's when I should do something with the kids. Like for once, can I just match up my life with their school calendar?
Mm-hmm. I know.
I never do that.
Yeah.
What's the matter with me?
Well, you got Mardi Gras. I know you always
Mardi
do that.
Gras, and it never matches up with. Mardi Gras this year is late, so it's going to be on my sister's birthday. She turns 40 on Mardi Gras Day, which is March 5th.
Oh, cool.
That'd be fun.
That will be fun. Gonna be a big party. So that's Virginia's plans, and then
fucking spring break. I barely can figure out Christmas.
Right. He doesn't have Christmas done yet. Yeah.
There's no way, Engineer Keith, I love you, but there's no way in shit I'm gonna know what I'm doing in April.
Yeah.
Christmas is like basically in a week and a half, and we don't know yet.
No.
Right. There you go. So, no idea. Appreciate the emails, though. Send them to us, mail@kvjshow.com. All right, you guys have an amazing day. We'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.